So last month I went on my very first date for the first time at the ripe age of 29. Currently I'm trying to do that thing where I like live my life to the fullest. So I told myself that this summer I'm gonna have my first everything. You know, first love, first kiss, first federal offense. Obviously I'm very new to this field of life, so you know there's a lot of things that I need to learn. Like, you know, I have to cover all my bases to make sure that, you know, I'm tackling every topic and I know everything there is to know in the realm of dating. So I went to Reddit. I actually stumbled across this lovely article that had dating tips for women. The article was written in 1938, so I think I was like 3 years old at the time. It was just a few years back. Anyways, it has been 85 years since this article has been published, and you know, I thought despite the fact that it's been, you know, 50 years and a few decades, the same rules will still apply, right? Right? Women never appeal to gentlemen. Don't talk while dancing. For when a man I feel like I need to read this in like a posh British accent, like a Shakespearean vibe, you know? Careless women never appeal to gentle. Careless women never appeal to gentlemen. Don't talk while dancing. For when a man doth dance, he wants to dance. I actually can't remember the last time I've seen like a man dance, which I don't know if that's because of like the Toronto club scene that I'm used to going to, but like usually if I'm going out, the men are usually at like the perimeter of the club wall. Like, I'm laughing, but it's actually really scary. They look like a pack of vultures, or like a, I don't know what you call like a pack of vultures. Like a, what do you call a pack of vultures? A wake, a kettle, a committee of vultures? Committee of vultures. Why does it sound like they own a company? It's a bird. Why are we giving them such high class names? When I go out, it's just the girlies in the middle dancing. Like, I would love to see more dancing from the men, but like y'all just be at the sidelines, like literally like stuck on the wall. Maybe there's some like power source and they're like recharging. You know, it's 1938, and like this article says, when a man has to dance, he wants to dance. And then the second part, don't talk while dancing. Me personally, I think I'm pretty chatty. Well, actually no, I'm like really annoying. I just like to say chatty because I'm trying to like, you know, practice the art of, I use chatty as like a blanket term because I don't want to hurt my own feelings, but in reality I think I'm just like very annoying. So I do talk a lot, but moving forward I will keep this in mind the next time I go dancing, because I would hate to upset my date.
Cha-cha real smooth.
I love this song. Stop, cut it, cut the song. Did you seriously just try to speak to me? Like in the middle of my cha-cha slide, can't you see that I'm dancing? Everybody look to the left. Everybody look to the right. The guy in the photo looks very angry. Like, he looks absolutely disgusted. I can feel his rage just like seeping through the screen. He's probably like drafting up his next like breakup text, or like, I don't think they text back then, but what do they use, like pigeon mail? Don't sit in awkward positions and never look bored. Even if you are, be alert. And if you must chew gum, not advised. Do it silently, mouth closed. Where is the gum slander coming from? I feel like this is kind of unnecessary. I know whoever wrote this second rule went on one date with one girl and she was smacking her gum and he's like, nope, put that in the book. Like, the piece of advice itself just feels all over the place. We have the first part, which is like, you know, don't sit awkwardly. Sure. Be alert, you know, body language wise. And then don't chew bubble gum. Where did the gum come from? I do get the gum chewing though, because for a lot of people, like, you know, obnoxious chewing on anything is a pet peeve. So I partially understand this dating advice. Partially, okay, only a good half of it. What's an awkward sitting position? And why is that the highlight of this? Like, what is an awkward sitting position? I know what it is, but also I don't know. Awkward sitting position. Like, in what situation? In what venue am I sitting across from my date like this? Who is doing that? What woman in 1938 was sitting like that? I'm in the hotel, bitch, I'm missing you, and that's all, yeah. And also the photo, like the reference photo, it's not even awkward to me. I sit like that. She's just slouching. I have really bad posture, so I'm taking this personally. Can somebody tell me if that looks awkward to them? Like if you saw somebody sitting like that, is that like a big no-no? If you need a brassiere, wear one. Don't tug at your girdle, and be careful your stockings are not wrinkled. Okay, I get the vibe, you know, if you need a bra, wear a bra.
He love how I ride it, hop on a dick.
I get it. You know, I can roll with that. I can rock with it. Me personally, I can't remember the last time I've ever worn a bra. I do like how they said if you need to wear it, then you should wear it. I shouldn't be eating that up right now. I honestly expected this piece of advice to be said like, ladies, you need to start wearing your brassiere. And I swear, if you show up without one,
I'm turning around and I'm leaving.
I feel like the bar is like below sea level, but it's 1938. Okay, it's 1938. I can't have high standards. For some reason, I feel like I would see this in like an alpha male podcast. No offense. This also kind of feels like unserious. Like I feel like there's so much more worse things you can do in life than not wear your brassiere on a date or tug at your girdle. Why is that like are these red flags for men? Like 1938 red flags in women? Oh my gosh, you're back. How did your date go? Honestly, it started out perfect. You know, we went out to eat. She was alert. She wasn't chewing any gum, thank God. And you know, when we danced, it's almost like she knew when to shut up. It was like perfect. But there was one point when she tugged at her girdle. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Ugh. Did she really do that? Yeah, twice actually. Oh, twice. Oh no. I mean, at least her stockings weren't wrinkled. Were they? There were some wrinkles in there. A few rings actually. Oh. I think I'm gonna be sick. I know. It was bad. It was actually really bad. Yeah, just block her. Man, you gotta get rid of her. That's a big red flag right there. Also, the guy in the photo is, he's like hiding his face. So I know his blood pressure went up. This is serious business right here. Ugh, those wrinkled tights, babe. Get them out of my face. Jeez. Gross. Maybe it was like a big thing. Or maybe it was just like a 1938 ick. Like the same way we have our icks of 2023. Like when you accidentally see someone's butt crack, you know, that could be an ick. So maybe when we go back 85 years, that was their strong ick. And usually icks are unreasonable, so I do understand. You know, I'm gonna let this one cha-cha slide.
Don't talk about clothes.
I'm sorry, why are they yelling? Why are they yelling for each one?
Careless woman, don't sit in awkward position. If you need...
Okay, you know, we get it. We do understand. No need to yell. Don't talk about your clothes or try to describe your gown to a man. Please and flatter your date by talking about the things he wants to talk about. These are so specific and loud. Like I mentioned earlier, this article was from 1938. So, you know, it's been a few years. It's been a hot minute. And I'm sure there's some nuances that I don't fully understand because it's not my era. But talking about clothes, why is that on the list? Why is it there? Can somebody from the 1930s confirm the validity of this? Like, I need an accuracy check. I know that most of my audience is actually 85 years old, so any of you guys, just feel free to comment. Just be like, hey Deb, I'm actually from the 1930s, and yeah, you know, that was a thing. I need like a fact check because it's getting a little messy here. I'm looking forward to those comments though, if you're from the early 19th century. I'll wait. Sometimes I'll be scrolling on TikTok and I see like dating advice like under a sound, but it'll be like a very like aesthetic photo with like the writing dating tips #1. I feel like if these men had the tech for it, I would definitely see these posts on my For You page. We already had that first piece of advice with the whole dancing thing and not talking while he's dancing.
She put my name in yellow hearts.
And now after this one, we actually can't talk about her clothes either. So
She put my name in yellow hearts.
I would not be surprised if the next piece of advice is, actually ladies, just don't talk at all. What did these dates in 1938 look like? Because if I was on a date with these rules, it would be radio silence. Don't drink too much. Okay, that's good. I can roll with that. Don't drink too much, as a man expects you to keep your dignity all evening. You had me in the first half. I will say that. Drinking may make some girls clever, but most get silly. Okay, you know what? I have to respect it. I have to respect it. If we ended it after the whole first bolded sentence of don't drink too much, period, it's valid. I agree. That same idea will apply now the same way it applied in 1938 and probably for the next 85 years. That's like a thing that we'll keep doing. I feel like there was a better way to word that, but whatever. Side note though, okay, I have a question for the audience. Do you think this was like one guy who went on multiple dates and had all these experiences and just amalgamated them into one rule book? Or do you think it's like multiple people and they had like a 1938 roundtable talk, Dr. Phil episode when they all just, you know, brainstormed and brought their ideas together of dating tips for women? Now, me personally, I think it's one person because a lot of these are oddly specific. Like they're general, but they're also not. I feel like this is coming from one person's experience, especially that gum chewing. That had to be one man. But also the end of this sentence kind of has me thinking otherwise because they say drinking may make some girls clever, but most get silly. How do they know I get silly goofy? Like that has to come from multiple sources. I can't hate on this too much because the first part of the advice actually makes sense. You know, don't drink too much, period. As you shouldn't. Know your limits, know what you're capable of doing, what you shouldn't do. Like the first part, 10 out of 10. Good advice. Would bang. Don't be familiar with the head waiter talking about the fun you had with someone else another time. Men desire your entire attention. Now that was deep. Which one of y'all wrote that sensual last sentence? Isn't that like a general rule though? Like I feel like that's just like common etiquette. Don't like go in on the fun you had with somebody else in front of another person that like wasn't there or was involved or invited. Like you can obviously, but I feel like it just gets awkward so fast. Like it's still good advice, but like it's just basic. I can't give you ratings for that. Anybody or everybody does this. At least I would hope most people do. I wouldn't do this with like my date or like my friends or anyone. I just feel like it's so awkward. I'm so sorry. I'm giving this a solid 6 out of 10 solely for the fact that it's not advice. And can we talk about that second part? The whole men deserve your attention. Actually, you know what? I'm kind of biased because I feel like if I saw this in a novel, I definitely would be biting my lip and kicking my feet. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't be eating this up if this were in like a Colleen Hoover book. I'm gonna be transparent. I would be eating that up in any other context, but not in 1938. I decided I'm gonna ignore the whole deserve your attention in that sentence. So let's just, you know, crumble it up, throw it away. If somebody came up to me, looked me in my eyes and said that they desire my entire attention,
let's play a little game just between you and
my legs would spread. They would spread and I would have like no control over it. That's just a fact. I'm speaking nothing but facts. My body would physically react to it. I would like... Let me just stop there. I feel like I'm gonna go on one of those tangents and I don't like doing that anymore. Don't be sentimental or try to get him to say something he doesn't want to by working on his emotions. Men don't like tears, especially in public places. Men don't like tears. They're actually allergic to it. They go into shock. Every time a man cries, he dies. Every time a man cries, he dies. The minute men shed tears, they go into shock. I can actually confirm this information. The last time I saw a man cry, he went into anaphylaxis. So please, ladies, when you're on dates with men, don't be sentimental. Do not work their emotions. Call this number immediately if you see a man cry, because their life is on the line. This one is another one that I feel like it's like, again, it's too specific for me. Like the girlies must have been putting in the work for them to write this advice. What y'all know about that emotional manipulation, ladies? Or maybe, oh my gosh, were the girls or were the women of 1938 like serial gaslighters? I think they were. I just know for a fact that Mary, Betty, and Barbara were putting in the work to manipulate these men. Because why is don't be too sentimental on this list? Barbara, what did you do? What did you do to Gary in 1930? Because he did not let it go. I'm convinced now that the 1938 dating pool was toxic. Maybe that's why they call it the dirty 30s. Yeah, I'm onto something with that one.
oh my god.
Don't try to get him to say something he doesn't want to by working on his emotions. See, that sounds like something a psych major would do. I feel like I'm always bringing up psych majors, but like y'all, I have a lingering fear of anybody who majors in psych. It's been going on for I think like 8 years now. I can't, I'm scared. Like, I'm just scared. Leave a comment down below and let me know if you're majoring in psych, so I can file a restraining order against you and I never have to see you again. Listen, I'm just taking my precautions. I can't walk around with people that know my emotions better than I know my emotions. I'm scared. It's scary. You know what? Maybe they were onto something with this last piece of advice. That manipulation? Something was definitely in the air. Honestly, I'm struggling to date right now. So reading this makes me feel optimistic in a way, because I know that I would not have survived a second in that 1938 dating pool. I would have drowned. I would have been out so quick. Honestly, I'm just grateful I wasn't born then. And also, I don't even think I had rights yet, like as like a black person. I don't know why I'm laughing. But yeah, I wouldn't have survived, literally. My dating life definitely would have flopped like 10 times harder than it is right now. So that is comforting. So comforting. I'm so comforted by that fact. Anyways, my stockings are getting severely wrinkled right now, so I have to take my leave. You know, I can't let y'all see these wrinkled stocks. I'm sorry if I tugged on my girdle during this video, but you know, if you leave your credit card information, I can buy a new one along with a brassiere, because I need one. Women need brassieres.